Welcome. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of economic systems. At its core, economics is about how societies manage scarce resources. Every society faces the challenge of scarcity. There simply aren't enough resources to satisfy everyone's wants and needs. This leads to a fundamental question. How do different societies decide what to produce, how to produce it, and who gets what? The answer lies in their economic system. In this video, we'll explore how market and command economies approach these challenges and what makes each system unique. Scarcity is a central concept in economics. It means that resources like land, labor, and capital are limited, while human wants are virtually unlimited. Because of this, societies must make choices about how to allocate these resources efficiently. Scarcity forces us to prioritize and make decisions about what goods and services to produce, how to produce them, and for whom they should be produced. These decisions shape the structure of any economic system and influence the daily lives of everyone in society. Economic system is the method a society uses to answer the basic economic questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Different societies have developed different systems based on their values, goals, and available resources. The two main types we'll focus on are market economies and command economies. Each system has its own way of organizing production and distribution, and each has its strengths and weaknesses. Start with the market economy. In this system, decisions about production and distribution are driven by the interactions of individuals and businesses in the marketplace. Prices are determined by supply and demand, and resources are allocated to where they are most valued. The government's role is limited, mainly to enforcing laws and protecting property rights. This system encourages innovation and efficiency, as businesses compete to meet consumers' needs. Now let's look at the command economy. In this system, the government makes most or all decisions about what to produce, how to produce it, and who gets the goods and services. Central planners set prices and allocate resources according to national goals. This approach aims for equality and stability, but it can sometimes lead to inefficiency and lack of innovation since there's less competition and consumer choice. A market economy, resources are allocated through the price mechanism. When a product is in high demand, its price rises, signaling producers to make more. If demand falls, prices drop and production slows. This dynamic process helps ensure that resources flow to where they're most needed, based on consumer preferences and willingness to pay. The result is a flexible and responsive system that adapts quickly to changes in supply and demand. A command economy, resource allocation is handled by central planners. They decide what goods and services are needed, set production targets, and distribute resources accordingly. This can help achieve national priorities like rapid industrialization or social equality. However, it can also result in shortages or surpluses, since planners may not always accurately predict consumer needs or respond quickly to changes in demand. Prices play a crucial role in market economies. They act as signals guiding both consumers and producers. When prices rise, consumers may buy less and producers are encouraged to supply more. When prices fall, the opposite happens. This constant adjustment helps balance supply and demand, making the market economy efficient and self-regulating. Prices also help allocate resources to their most valued uses. Command economies, the government's role is central and all-encompassing. It owns most resources and directs economic activity according to a national plan. The government decides what goods and services are produced, sets prices, and often controls wages. This can help achieve social goals like reducing inequality, but it may also limit individual freedom and reduce incentives for innovation. Examples of market economies include the United States, Canada, and Australia. In these countries, most economic decisions are made by individuals and businesses. The government's role is mainly to enforce laws, protect property rights, and maintain competition. These economies are known for their high levels of innovation, consumer choice, and economic growth. Examples of command economies include North Korea and, historically, the former Soviet Union. In these countries, the government made most economic decisions and owned most resources. The focus was often on achieving national goals such as industrialization or military strength, rather than individual consumer preferences. This system can provide stability but may lack efficiency and innovation. Most countries today have mixed economies which combine elements of both market and command systems. Governments may regulate certain industries, provide public goods, or intervene to correct market failures, while still allowing markets to operate freely in other areas. This approach seeks to balance the efficiency of markets with the social goals of government intervention. Market economies offer several advantages. They encourage innovation and entrepreneurship, as individuals and businesses seek to profit from new ideas. Consumers benefit from a wide variety of goods and services, and competition helps keep prices low and quality high. The flexibility of market economies also allows them to adapt quickly to changing conditions. Despite their strengths, market economies also have drawbacks. They can lead to income inequality as some individuals and businesses succeed while others struggle. Market economies may also fail to provide public goods like national defense or clean air, and can sometimes result in economic instability such as recessions or financial crises. Command economies can provide stability and focus on social goals, such as reducing inequality or ensuring everyone has access to basic goods and services. Central planning can help mobilize resources quickly for large projects, like building infrastructure or responding to emergencies. This system can also prevent some of the excesses and failures seen in market economies. However, command economies often struggle with inefficiency and lack of innovation. Central planners may not have enough information to allocate resources effectively, leading to shortages or surpluses. The lack of competition can reduce incentives for businesses to improve quality or lower costs, and consumers may have limited choices. Some countries have transitioned from command to market economies or vice versa. For example, China has moved from a strictly command economy to a more market-oriented system, while still maintaining significant government control. These transitions can be challenging as they require changes in institutions, laws, and public attitudes. In practice, resource allocation is rarely perfect. Even in market economies, there can be market failures such as monopolies or pollution that require government intervention. In command economies, planners may struggle to gather accurate information or respond to local needs. Understanding these challenges helps us appreciate the complexity of economic systems. Incentives are crucial in shaping economic behavior. In market economies, profits and competition drive businesses to innovate and serve consumers. In command economies, incentives are often set by the government, such as rewards for meeting production targets. The effectiveness of these incentives can greatly influence economic performance. Consumer choice is a defining feature of market economies. People can choose from a wide range of products and services, and businesses compete to attract customers. In command economies, choices are often limited as the government decides what is produced and available. This difference has a big impact on daily life and satisfaction. Market economies tend to foster more innovation and economic growth as businesses compete to develop new products and improve efficiency. Command economies may focus on stability and equality but often lag in technological progress. The drive for profit and competition in markets is a powerful engine for advancement. Market economies can create significant income inequality as rewards are based on market success. Command economies aim to reduce inequality by redistributing resources and providing basic goods for all. Mixed economies often use taxes and social programs to balance efficiency with fairness. Public goods like national defense or clean air are often underprovided in market economies because they're hard to sell for profit. Governments step in to provide these goods, using taxes to fund them. In command economies, the government directly provides most public goods and services as part of the central plan. Market economies are generally more flexible and responsive to changes, such as new technologies or shifts in consumer preferences. Command economies can be slower to adapt as changes require approval from central planners. This flexibility is a key advantage of market-based systems. Command economies can provide more stability as the government controls prices and production. Market economies, while dynamic, can experience cycles of boom and bust. Mixed economies try to combine the best of both, using regulation to smooth out economic fluctuations. Competition is a driving force in market economies. It pushes businesses to improve quality, lower prices, and innovate. In command economies, the lack of competition can lead to inefficiency and stagnation. Mixed economies encourage competition but regulate it to prevent abuses. Market economies rely on millions of individual decisions, guided by prices and information. Command economies depend on central planners who may not have all the information needed to make the best choices. This difference affects how efficiently resources are used. Consider food production. In a market economy, farmers decide what to grow based on prices and consumer demand. In a command economy, the government sets production targets and allocates resources. The results can be very different, affecting availability, variety, and quality. In technology, market economies often lead the way in innovation, as companies compete to create the next big thing. Command economies may focus on large national projects but often lag in consumer technology and services. This difference shapes the pace and direction of technological change. In market economies, workers choose jobs based on wages and opportunities, and businesses compete for talent. In command economies, the government often assigns jobs and sets wages. This affects motivation, job satisfaction, and productivity. Market economies may struggle with environmental issues, as businesses focus on profit and may overlook pollution or resource depletion. Governments can step in with regulations. Command economies can prioritize environmental goals but may lack the flexibility to implement effective solutions. Entrepreneurs are key players in market economies, starting new businesses and driving innovation. In command economies, entrepreneurship is often limited, as the government controls most economic activity. This difference affects the level of creativity and growth in each system. Consumer satisfaction is generally higher in market economies, where businesses compete to meet diverse needs and preferences. In command economies, satisfaction may be lower due to limited choices and standardized products. This impacts overall quality of life. Economic freedom is a hallmark of market economies, where individuals can choose their careers, start businesses, and buy what they want. Command economies restrict these freedoms as the government controls most decisions. Mixed economies offer a balance, allowing freedom with some regulation. Even in market economies, governments regulate to protect consumers, ensure fair competition, and address market failures. In command economies, regulation is total, as the government controls all aspects of production and distribution. The degree of regulation shapes economic outcomes. Market economies are usually more open to international trade, allowing businesses to import and export freely. Command economies may restrict trade to protect domestic industries or achieve national goals. Mixed economies balance openness with strategic controls. Market economies are effective at creating wealth as competition and innovation drive growth. Command economies may focus on distributing wealth more equally but often generate less overall wealth. Mixed economies seek to balance growth with fairness. Command economies often prioritize social goals such as universal healthcare or education. Market economies rely more on private provision, which can lead to gaps in access. Mixed economies use government programs to address social needs. Economic planning is central in command economies, where the government sets production goals and allocates resources. In market economies, planning is decentralized, with individuals and businesses making their own decisions. Mixed economies combine both approaches. Market failures occur when markets don't allocate resources efficiently, such as with pollution or monopolies. Governments intervene to correct these failures using taxes, regulations, or public provision. Understanding market failures helps explain why pure market economies are rare. Economic growth is often faster in market economies, driven by competition and innovation. Command economies may achieve rapid growth in specific sectors but often struggle to sustain it over time. Mixed economies aim for steady, balanced growth. Globalization has increased the interconnectedness of economies. Market economies often benefit from global trade and investment, while command economies may struggle to compete internationally. Mixed economies adapt by balancing openness with protection. Looking ahead, economic systems continue to evolve. Technology, environmental challenges, and social changes are shaping how resources are allocated. Countries are experimenting with new combinations of market and command elements to meet the needs of their people. To sum up, market and command economies offer different approaches to allocating scarce resources. Market economies rely on individual choice and competition, while command economies depend on central planning and government control. Most countries use a mix of both, seeking to balance efficiency, fairness, and stability. Understanding economic systems helps us see how societies make choices about scarce resources. Whether through markets, government planning, or a mix of both, these systems shape our lives in countless ways. By comparing market and command economies, we gain insight into the strengths and challenges of each approach and how they affect our world.